It's not now, it is going on. So I can hear myself, see you. Just give me 1 second. Let me mute this. Okay. Yeah. Just okay. The thing is, because have I spotlighted you? Let me pin your chat and pin myself also.
So I had an interactive part of it. Then I should not do that?
In case people show up, yes, why not? But if not, it's
no.
okay.
But then you're saying then you get all the
that is okay. That so you have to. We just did our
interactive as in I bring a word cloud. Word cloud, right?
So then they'll have to.
Yeah, they have to type stuff in.
Yeah, but if they show up, like the thing, that's why I post it on YouTube. Some are they watch later. Generally, aisa hota hai. So we can do it. Yeah. So just give me 1 second. Let me see if in case people show up. Yeah. Okay. Mute kar. So we just continue with the presentation, how to make presentations and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because कुछ लोगों का कोई भरोसा नहीं कब आते हैं कब नहीं आते. So everybody watches it later. Okay, so good evening everyone. This is for the kids who wanted me to do presentation skills. As I see, सब लोग late लतीफ हो तुम लोग. हम आपके लिए इतना काम करते हैं और आप लोग आते नहीं हो time पे. Anyway, I want to introduce Romel Murjani. He's a senior consultant Deloitte India, implementing human resource technology systems for multinational companies. He's erstwhile human resource executive with KPMG, managing HR processes, systems, learning and development. And सबसे interesting bit ये है कि वो मेरा छोटा भाई है. मैंने कभी लाइफ में नहीं सोचा था कि मैं और मेरा भाई YouTube पे साथ आएंगे. I don't think Romel, you also expected that we would have worked together, right?
Yeah.
So it has been a interesting journey. बचपन से लेके आज तक कभी मैंने सोचा नहीं था कि मेरे कोई भी भाई मेरे साथ YouTube पे होगा. मैंने खुद नहीं सोचा था कि मैं YouTube पे होंगी. तो भाई तो दूर की बात. So welcome Romel. How does it feel? Are you ready to do some?
Thank you. Yes. I'm absolutely ready, and I hope people join soon, or even if they see later, hopefully they find it useful. And
you can share your screen whenever you're ready.
Okay.
जो भी YouTube पे देख रहे हैं, I can see people are live. Can you all come on the Zoom and learn how to do presentation skills instead of hiding behind YouTube chat and all of it? आ जाओ. यहाँ पे कुछ आपको कुछ difficult काम नहीं कराएंगे हम तो आपसे. Yes, Romel.
Absolutely. It बहुत अच्छा होगा if anyone can join us. In case anyone does join us, we do have sort of kind of an interactive session where I can even involve you. थोड़ा live discussion हो सकती है. थोड़ा सा I can walk you through के different tools जो use करते हैं वो भी दिखा सकते हैं and हम live use कर सकते हैं वो tools. So वो ऐसा helpful हो जाएगा if in case anyone is there and would like to join the Zoom meeting.
They are asking how to do it. So come, and if it's a great topic on Omash, Shivam, Nitish, आ जाओ और Zoom पे हमारे साथ interact करो. Till then, Romel, you can start because we are not going to wait forever for people. We can just take the questions later.
Okay. All right, great. Okay. So our topic for today, of course, everyone knows this, presentation skills. Now, why have I written a byline there saying the art of presenting without presenting? Now, what does that mean? Now, whenever I have thought of a presentation, I have always thought that this needs to be not a boring thing, not some guy just talking and talking and talking and just showing you slides. That
Right.
is not what a presentation should be, or that is not the idea of a good presentation. Yes, presentations can be of many different ways,
Mm.
uh, depending in what scenario you are, where are you presenting, and so on. Of course, we will see a lot more of that as we go ahead. So, like I said, the idea is to present, but not make it sound like a presentation. How can we make it creative? How can we make it more interactive? So, the best part of presentation should be the part where you interact with your audience. Like, for example, if there were an audience here, I would first start off by introducing myself. So, I'm going to go ahead with that. I know Rachna already introduced me, but in the case that there's no host introducing you, the
Mm.
correct way to start would always be to introduce yourself, and take this as a learning, not only for presentations but in any interaction that you could have, whether it is a meeting in an office, whether it is a gathering of friends. There are a lot of this actually makes your presence felt. uh, Introducing yourself and talking, of course you don't have to boast about yourself, go
Mm.
on and on and on about yourself, but at least a quick introduction, asking the person what their name is,
Right.
asking a little bit about them is what you should do. So then I'm going to start off with introducing myself. Uh, as you guys can see, my name is Romel Murjani. I am a consultant with Deloitte, and I have been a consultant for the last 6 to 7 years. Prior to which, I was working with another company as a part of the HR team. And as part of the HR team, for those who are not aware, human resources. Now, हमारा काम in human resources बहुत अलग-अलग काम होता है. So हम इसमें not just जोक चलता हुआ जोक ये है कि ह्यूमन रिसोर्स वाले काम क्या करते हैं, रंगोली बनाते हैं, फेस्टिवल करते हैं, एंड दैट इज देयर जॉब.
Yeah,
लेट मी
that's
टेक
what I've
दिस.
heard.
Yeah. Well, बहुत सारे मीम्स इस पे बनते हैं, बट यस, जस्ट टू लिटिल बैकग्राउंड, यस, बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स होते हैं वहां पे. एंड एज पार्ट ऑफ एन एचआर प्रोफेशनल, मैंने काफी सारी प्रेजेंटेशंस दी थी, तो मैं वहां पे ऑनबोर्डिंग करता था. So every morning, 50 people used to join our company, approximately. It used to change, but 50 to 30 people used to join, and मैं उनके सामने पूरे कंपनी की प्रेजेंटेशन देता था, talk to them, make them understand what is the job, and so on. So
Mm.
in HR, मैंने काफी सारी मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स, आई वुड से सीखी तो उसके पहले से कॉलेज में से करता था मैं. एंड होपफुली, इफ आई अंडरस्टैंड, काफी सारे स्टूडेंट्स ये वीडियो देखने वाले होंगे. सो
Mm.
एंड आई एम श्योर आपके प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज अगर आप कर रहे हैं, इवन वेदर इट इज बीकॉम, वेदर इट इज अ मैनेजमेंट कोर्स, आप लोग काफी प्रेजेंटेशंस करोगे, तो वहां से आपकी शुरुआत होगी विद द प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स एंड हाउ टू प्रेजेंट. सो मेरी भी वैसी शुरुआत हुई है. सो होपफुली आई कैन use that background to connect with our younger audience, give them a understanding ke aage how is life going to be, how does those transitions happen, and how we can use that.
Did you
So
get nervous when the first time you presented?
oh yes,
The
definitely.
most common.
Definitely, and as a matter of fact, I was even a little bit nervous today. I mean,
Oh,
I present in front of multinational companies and all of that, and I am like, those are presentations or those are topics I've covered so many times. I'm so used to it. Now
mm.
here, doing something new, doing something different. Well, I have done a presentation skills. So I used to do learning and development for different companies, and मैंने वहाँ पे भी काफी सारे presentation skill workshops किए हैं. But that was on a very high level. I would be training professionals, very formal words, using psychological techniques and all, which is not what I'm looking at today. तो मैं ये प्रेजेंटेशन या ये वर्कशॉप जो हमारा है, बहुत सिंपल, बहुत यूजफुल बनाना चाहता हूँ, दैट एनीवन कैन बेनिफिट फ्रॉम इट. ये मेरा आइडिया था.
Okay.
So moving ahead, now of course, since no one has joined, I will still like to show people how to use a tool called Word Cloud. So
Okay.
I'm going to shift my screen to my browser, and we will see the Word Cloud over here. So if you can see my screen, right? You can see the browser.
Yeah.
Okay. So over here now, what I would do first is I would post a question. So this is what we call icebreakers. So if I would have just gone in and started showing slides and showing PPTs, सब लोग बोर हो जाते. Starting से ही सब लोग बोलते यार ये तो पकाने आया है, and you would tune out. You would not want to listen to what I am saying. Right? There's someone waiting in the room.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is a interaction tool, or a very good icebreaker as we use it. So now for what my idea was, I would let's say if I had students that are attending my session, मैं क्या करना चाहता था कि मैं इसको लाइव करके मैं इसे शेयर कर सकता हूँ with everyone who is on the chat. So I see Aryan has joined us. Hi Aryan, thank you for joining.
Yeah, hi sir.
So hi. So Aryan, just to catch you up, we're looking at a tool जो basically हमको presentations के पहले, when you want to interact with your audience, especially in a virtual world, okay, if you're doing an online presentation like what I'm doing, so this is a very useful tool. So what happens here is, you can see the website is menti.com, free to use. It's so there's a link. I'll put the link in our chat over here. Just
so how does this help actually? The menti.com is for what exactly? Just to
it's a, you can say it's a tool to connect and interact. So that's what I think if I can show it to you, good to have Aryan and you over here, so at least we can have like a live working model of it. So I've pasted a link in the chat. Y'all can just click on that. It will open a page for you where it will give you place to give me feedback.
Okay. Oh, okay.
No, Aryan, it's not a presentation creator.
Gives you
आप एक बार try करो. So हाँ, so
enter
आपको
a word. What are you
आपको
studying?
मैं ये question पूछ रहा हूँ. What are you studying? So just answer there. In that place you'll have type your answer or type text करके एक आएगा. आप वहाँ पे पहले आपका नाम लिखेंगे, register हो जाओगे, और फिर आप इसका response दे सकते हो. I think you'll have 3 options what you can give.
But it
Perfect.
says send me, मिल गया तुम्हें? It says send me the result, join another presentation, sign up for Mentimeter.
Yeah, so I can see presentation skills. Is that what you did?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Just my screen is sharing, right? You can come back to my screen.
Right, I
So,
saw.
right, so you can see.
Such.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Aryan, why don't you put up एक answer डाल दो? Perfect. So you are into innovation in transport. Okay, great. So this is a great tool to collect. So to understand your audience, the icebreaker that we're talking about, the first thing that we do is an icebreaker, which not just helps your audience get comfortable with you, कि आप समझ भी सकते हो कि आपकी audience क्या है. तो अभी मुझे पता चला Aryan is into transport. So maybe आगे जाके अगर मेरा depending what presentation कर रहा हूँ, वो presentation में भी मैं उस तरह से या उस topics के तरफ और बात कर सकता हूँ. So I get to know my audience, I get to know आप क्या कर रहे हो, कि मैं जो आपको बता रहा हूँ वो आपको कैसे help होगा, and so on. So इसको multiple ways of using this. ये एक तरीका है, use it as an icebreaker. Another way would be you use it as probably just a tool to collect information. कि आपको एक question डालना है, देखना है सबका view क्या है, आपको पता करना है लोग के mind में क्या है. So this is a great tool to use in that case. So again, menti.com, it's free to use. You can just share that link, start collecting data, and once actually more data comes in here, it jumbles up, starts to look like a cloud. That's what this is called, a word cloud.
Okay.
Right. So yep, going back to our presentation. So that is what I would like to start a presentation like this, especially a virtual presentation, should start with something, using an icebreaker. Even if you're in person, you can have various different icebreakers. So you can play a quick game, just sorry, asking people about what they do. You can start with a joke. Anything of that is what works as an icebreaker. So your audience is comfortable. आपके audience भी आपसे बात करने में उनको आसानी होगी, उनको और comfortable feel होगा इस interaction में. ठीक है? Now let me go on to my first slide, which is regarding grooming and self-presentation. So of course, we have come here to learn presentation skills, yes, about PPT, PowerPoint, any other method of presentation. But first and foremost, the first thing जो कोई भी देखता है जब आप present करने आते हैं, they look at you, वो आपको देखते हैं. So it's important that how you are presenting yourself, आप वहाँ पे कैसे खड़े हो, आप कैसे ड्रेस किए हो, ये सारी चीजें मैटर होती है. So you can see first 2 points are about dressing, and so पहले बोलते हैं dress to feel good. सबसे important है कि आप ड्रेस ऐसे करो कि आपको खुद को अच्छा लगे, आपको खुद कॉन्फिडेंस हो. एंड इसलिए मैं सेकंड डाला हूँ ड्रेस टू लुक गुड. नाउ ये लुक गुड इज इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ पर्सपेक्टिव. कोई कुछ सोचेगा, कोई कुछ सोचेगा, कोई ना कोई तो आपको ऐसा सोचेगा कि भाई इस बंदे ने क्या पहना है, इस बंदी ने क्या पहना है, ये सही नहीं है, दिस इज नॉट द राइट थिंग टू वेयर. दैट्स गोइंग टू हैपन. सो दैट इज अ सेकेंडरी मैटर. एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर कॉन्फिडेंट, आपके पास आपके माइंड में नहीं है कि यार मैंने गलत टी शर्ट पहनी, गलत शर्ट पहन ली, मैंने गलत कलर पहनी है. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. यू आर देयर. आपने डिसाइड किया है कि आपको क्या करना है और आप क्या पहनना था. आप उसमें आपको कॉन्फिडेंट रहना है और आगे बढ़ना है. So dress to feel good, dress to look good. So basically your own presentation is what we're talking about. कि आप क्या पहनते हो. Now also ये चीज important है, आप कहाँ पे क्या पहनते हो. Now अगर मैं यहाँ पे इस presentation के लिए एक सूट और टाई सब पहन के आता, according to me that wouldn't be the right thing, right? That wouldn't be the right dress up to wear. हाँ, अगर मैं ऑफिस के presentation में हूँ, that's what I'll wear. And even if I can give you an example, in अगर जो हम jobs करते हैं, वहां पे भी अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री होती है जहाँ पे हमको डिसाइड करना पड़ता है कि ठीक है आप कैसे ड्रेस करोगे फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर मीटिंग. आप कौन से टाइप के कंपनी में प्रेजेंटेशन या मीटिंग करने जा रहे हो, आपको अप्रोप्रिएट वैसे ड्रेस करना चाहिए. नॉट ताकि दैट दे विल से या रॉन्ग और समथिंग. इट मेक्स द राइट इंप्रेशन. आप अच्छी तरह से उनसे कनेक्ट कर पाओगे. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हमारी मीडिया इंडस्ट्री है, मीडिया इंडस्ट्री में काफी कैजुअल क्लोथ्स चलते हैं. सो आई वुडंट वेयर लाइक अ सूट और समथिंग अगर मैं एक क्लाइंट से मिलने जा रहा हूँ जो मीडिया में है. एंड ऑन द ऑपोजिट साइड अगर कोई फाइनेंस सेक्टर हो, दे आर मच मोर फॉर्मल, दे ड्रेस मच मोर फॉर्मल. तो माई ड्रेसिंग एंड माई प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ सेल्फ शुड ऑल्सो बी अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट. सो नॉट दैट हम उनकी कॉपी कैट या उनको कॉपी करना चाहते हैं, बट लाइक आई सेड, करेक्ट ड्रेसिंग इन द करेक्ट स्पेस, ये सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप कहाँ पे कैसे कपड़े पहनते हो. एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है अवॉइड ब्रांड न्यू क्लोथ्स. और ये मैंने खुद ये सिचुएशन से गुजरा हूं मैं. So I was working for a company जहाँ पे we had to dress pretty formally, we had to wear tie and all of that. So now पहले तो हमने स्कूल में तो इतनी कभी टाइज पहने थी नहीं, टाई तो बांधनी आती थी नहीं, तो बहुत डिफिकल्टी से वो टाई बांधना थोड़ा 1-2 दिन पहले सीखा था. और ये एक्साइटमेंट की नई कंपनी, नया जगह, तो मैंने नया टाई ले लिया. अभी मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि हर टाई को बांधने का एक मतलब वही तरीके से हर टाई बांधोगे तो उसका अलग लेंथ, अलग शेप, अलग साइज सब आ जाता है. सो ये मुझे नहीं पता था. आई डिडंट नो दैट. सो नाउ मैंने ये किया ओवर देयर. एक्चुअली प्रेजेंटेशन के पहले आई वाज स्ट्रगलिंग कि यार हाउ डू आई गेट दिस टाई राइट. कभी लंबा आ रहा है, कभी शॉर्ट आ रहा है, कभी वो नॉट सही नहीं आ रहा है. सो आई वेंट थ्रू a quite a tough time, and that is why I made sure I put this here. And this is definitely something, banding, go with something you're comfortable and go with something you've tried. कुछ पहना हो. The situation में मैं था वैसे I'm just trying to make sure कि आप लोग सब वहां पे ना पड़े. You don't have that kind of an issue or face that kind of a difficulty, because उससे क्या होता है ना, and ये मेरे साथ हुआ again over there, आपका पूरा concentration हिल जाता है, आपका confidence to some level हिल जाता है, that okay shit, just before the presentation मेरा कुछ तो सही नहीं हुआ, या मेरा mind कहीं और था, when I should have been concentrating on my presentation. मुझे मेरे presentation का preparation वगैरह, I should have thought of those things instead of thinking of, or my tie is stuck and things like that. So it will have.
I will also add that new shoes or new heels, and to present in heels is very uncomfortable. So if you're wearing some new shoe जो open नहीं हुआ है and तुम tight shoes में खड़े हो, वो भी आपको difficulty देगा, right, Roman?
Definitely. वो तो difficulty देगा ही, and yes, for all the ladies out there, yes, the heels part I think matters a lot, because not everyone wears heels every day. Suddenly आप heels पहन के, just because आप presentation के heel पहनो, मालूम पड़ा वहाँ पे आप podium पे stage पे present करते करते कहीं गिर ना जाओ, कहीं you don't have proper balance. So yes, absolutely, like I said, go with what you're comfortable, go with what you wear regularly. That will be the best thing. It may not be the best looking thing, but it will be the right thing to wear. Right? And of course, most importantly would be ensure you know your timings, you know what is your program, your agenda, when do you present. काफी time जैसे especially college में ऐसी presentations back to back presentations होती है. So कभी-कभी professors हमको slots देते हैं that okay 1 to 3 2 to 3 certain roll numbers will present, and so very important, you know where your slot is, you know where you have to come into the room, because at least back in when we were in college, हमको कभी बोलते नहीं थे नहीं आप इधर बैठो, आप presentation देखते रहो. तो हम बाहर जाके presentation की तैयारी करते थे. We would all be nervous at some point, and कभी-कभी क्या होता था, slot miss हो जाता था हमारा. So वो program, वो timing, हमारा slot अगर बराबर नहीं देखते थे, and ऐसा actually well luckily मेरे साथ तो नहीं हुआ है, but काफी मेरे friends, मेरे college mates को like professor ने actually present नहीं करने दिया. So maybe they lost marks, or शायद बाद में दिया होगा, some professors were considerate enough, but so you could you could miss your chance, you could miss your turn, you could lose out on the time given to you. तो काफी सारी चीजें हो सकती है. So know your program, know what is your time slot, understand how you want to get in there, how you want to get out of there. वो सारी चीजें फिर आपकी plan हो जाती है. Now now we are in a virtual world. You can see a photo over here on our slide where we are seeing people doing a meeting, an official meeting. So even in the virtual world, हाँ हम सोचेंगे कि चलो आज हमारा कैमरा शायद ऑन नहीं होगा. We don't know कि are we doing a video call? We are not doing a video call. So आज मैं instead of a shirt, I come in a kanji, I come in a t-shirt. So preparation in the virtual world of for dressing is also important. और ऐसे मेरे साथ हुआ है again. This is an experience I've had very recently. So we have all been working from home during the COVID and all. So मैं आराम से be working from home. So I'm wearing a t-shirt and sitting. तो बोला no problem. Generally we don't turn on cameras. So we are interacting with people. Now suddenly our senior and our bosses said, okay, we need to turn on cameras. Let's have an interactive discussion. और मैं वहाँ t-shirt में भेजा. So I had to run. I had to go wear a shirt at least. थोड़ा सा dress appropriately. So while you might think चलो virtual world है, it is not important, but it does make an impact what you're wearing when you're presenting. Even in virtual, you can still see the person. Maybe सारी detail नहीं, but depending how good the cameras are and all, but I think it's pretty decent. You can see the person very clearly, see what they're wearing, if they are not dressed, daag hai kapdon pe, or anything of that sort. So be careful. Don't take virtual world for granted. Ye kafi it's a place where people can make a mistake. So keep that in mind. वो काफी useful होगा. And most importantly, it is actually very important that you arrive early. Now, arriving late again. You arrive late. You've been probably running. Bus late हो गई, train late हो गई, cab late हो गई. You're trying to reach your presentation spot, whether it is college, office, whatever it is. that again can throw you off your presentation. आपका mind पूरा divert हो सकता है, and your आपका presentation actually काफी affect हो सकता है. Again, this is something also I have been through, and ये काफी आपको affect होता है. आप last minute पहुंच जाओगे, शायद आप 2 मिनट 3 मिनट पहले पहुंच गए, but आप probably भाग के आए. मैं तो एक बार प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए इतना लेट हो रहा था कि मैं लिफ्ट के लिए नहीं रुका, मैं स्टेज से भाग के ऊपर गया हूँ 3 or 4 floors to get to my presentation. But actually after reading the presentation मैं इतना हाफ रहा था कि I actually had to stop and take a breath, calm down कि मैं बात ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. So don't be late. You arrive early. You're in the right mindset कि आपको क्या बोलना है. You're prepared. आपको कैसे start करना है. You don't miss any aspects of your presentation. ये important होता है, and something as simple as arriving early can make a big difference. So please, you should always ensure keep your timing in. So of course I put arrive early in the grooming. Of course tardiness, आपका lateness becomes part of grooming at certain points. So it is important to have that as well. Right. Aryan, any question? Would you like to ask me anything? Or do you want me to go slow? I am too fast. Kuch adjust karu?
No, it's perfect. You can.
Okay.
Yeah, all well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Does Kirti and Prajwal any questions chat में लिख दो, फिर बाद में भी answer कर सकते हैं, unless you really need it to be answered right now. नहीं तो बाद में करेंगे. Romel, you may go ahead. Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. All right. So now, for what is important for us before we get into a presentation is whom we are presenting to. Okay. So, abhi, like I said, if I come dressed appropriately, depending on who I'm presenting to, etc., that makes a difference. But something that also makes a difference is knowing who you're presenting to and how you're presenting. Abhi, like for example, I asked Rachna a couple of questions before I started, or when she said I have to do this presentation. So I wanted to know who am I present, who would be watching this video? Will it be young people? Will it be old people? So how I should present. Should I now, if I'm, for example, if I was presenting to someone that is much more older, much more in a formal setting, मतलब कोई बॉस हो या कोई सीनियर हो, तो उनके साथ शायद मैं इतनी मे बी फनी स्टोरीज या जोक्स या ऐसी चीजें शायद ना शेयर करूं. मे बी वो दैट वुड बी अ मोर फॉर्मल प्लेस, एंड मुझे appropriately मेरा you can say, I wouldn't want to call it speech, but what my agenda is or what my material is, वैसे present करना चाहिए. Also important part which we started with when I talk about engaging the audience. So like I said, the first icebreaker जो हमने वो word cloud देखा हमने, इसका हमने I gave a chance के okay, you guys can give your inputs, वो actually that point of engagement के I include the audience जो है उनको मैं involve करूं, उनसे मैं questions पूछूं, उनको उनके suggestions लूं. These are things that engages the audience. मतलब उनको उनका concentration, उनका attention आप पे रहता है, and this actually can make or break your presentation. क्योंकि अगर आपकी ऑडियंस एंगेज नहीं हो, आप मतलब उनका अटेंशन आप पे नहीं हो और उनकी अटेंशन चले जाए, most of your work, most of your presentation can actually be a waste once you have lost your audience. तो ये काफी important होती है. So of course you engaging clients, with audiences, you have to of course show that if you want your audience to be interested, you have to be interested in them. You have to be interested in presenting to them. आप अगर without the energy, आप without the proper voice, proper volume, आप उनको present करो, आप अपना enthusiasm, अपनी energy नहीं show करोगे, तो audience equally आपको उतना dead response देगा, उतना ही uninterested रहेगा. So very important के how you are also in front of the audience is going to react that way. Right. And also one very important part, after presentations, during presentations, there are going to be questions. There are going to be log aapko sawal puchenge. Assuming you are presenting, you know certain things, आप कुछ research study या कुछ चीज के expert हो, तो आप हमारे सामने आए हो, तो आपको questions पूछी जाएंगी. Now, it is very possible कि आपको सारी questions की answers नहीं पता है. It's just human यार, हम सब इंसान हैं. We don't have all the questions. हमको सब सारी answers नहीं पता होगी. And it is okay to say that. It is okay अगर, like for example, अगर मुझे अभी एक tough question आया, maybe someone asks me something technical, okay, is this right to present? Is this not right to present? But I wouldn't want to give a wrong answer. Like whatever comes to my mind, मेरे mind में आया, मैंने बोल दिया. Not thinking of it, whether that will have an impact. शायद वो person जाके कहीं वो use करे, उनका impression or उनका presentation खराब हो. So I could admit that, okay, this is what I'm thinking. या ये मेरे mind में है, but I'm not sure. It's okay to not be sure because you have tried to prepare as much as you can. That doesn't mean you have all the answers. हो सकता है आपको कहीं ना कहीं कुछ दिक्कत आए, कुछ questions आए जो शायद आपने कभी सोचे भी ना हो. And ऐसे होती ही है, ऐसे हो आगे जाके होगी. So it's okay to admit that. Yes, but please don't, as college students, please don't use this when you are in college, or if you have you're presenting for marks or something. तो मालूम पड़ा आप बोलेंगे यार रोमन ने बोला था it's okay not to give answer, और उधर प्रोफेसर ने आपकी मार्क्स काट दी. So not in that kind of situation, but if you're just it's something that is you're talking about a very wide subject, you're talking about things aspects that may have other implications, उसकी और काफी सारी connections हो सकती है, ऐसी सारी चीजें हो, it's okay. Yes, you can admit you don't know it, or something even better to say is, I am not sure of it right now, but I will get back to you. That is the right way, what we always say, even in a professional world, to deal with. You don't just say, okay, I don't know. You say, I don't know, but I will get back to you. But ये भी important है that you actually do get back to that person. ऐसे बोलने वाले तो आपको काफी मिल जाएंगे, I'll get back to you, और वो कभी वापस नहीं आते. They don't give you the response जो आप you were hoping or you were expecting to learn from them. So definitely ensure, if you are committing to something, you're telling something, please ensure you get back to them on that. Right. Any questions anybody would like? I'll take a quick pause.
Aryan has a question.
Yes.
I actually had a question regarding grooming itself. I kind of came up with it a little late. So there's an issue that I'm facing actually currently itself. So I went through an accident and I have an injury, and I have my exams going on. So generally when I go to any like my school or any exam, I wear a complete suit, complete formals. But now that I have my injury, I'll be having a plaster on my hand, which wouldn't let me, wear a blazer.
Wear a suit. Yes.
So in that particular situation, I do not really feel, comfortable going in, and I don't have any formal. So what do you think I should do, Because wearing a suit is something that I must do, I feel, and yet I cannot do that.
Absolutely. I can absolutely understand where you're coming from, Aryan. Of course, being a person who has broken his hand and been in that situation. But more importantly, if you're seeing a slide, it clearly, your first 2 points answers exactly what you're feeling. Yes, you are right. You should dress how appropriately. You should dress the part that you're going for. But now in this situation, it is absolutely acceptable that you have a cast or a plaster on your hand. You're not able to wear a suit. As long as you're wearing a shirt, at least the rest of your attire is presentable enough and correct. You can feel comfortable. Like I said, you are comfortable not wearing a suit, right? Even if you could wear a suit which would be like really tight, you couldn't move your hand, I would still suggest don't wear it, right? So as long as you're comfortable, Aryan, and especially in a special situation like this, do not think about it. Don't divert your mind into thinking or putting yourself down thinking, oh, I'm not dressed properly, make yourself insecure. You need to consciously let that go. Okay, it's okay. मैं जो पहना हूँ, I am wearing it to the best of my ability. I do have a reason I'm not wearing it, and a very valid reason. So don't think too much about it. That's my suggestion.
No, yeah, it's like it's okay for other people. Actually, they already say that, you know, don't do it because it's like too hot and all. But I myself don't feel good. Like I wear a suit every day to school.
Okay.
I just don't feel confident, you know, in anything else.
Oh, well, that is honestly, I would say that is a good and a bad thing, Aryan. Right? It's good to feel confident, and to have something that actually gives you that little boost. And I can actually imagine how a suit can do that. Honestly, I myself love wearing suits also. Uh, so to give you a bit of a story, me and my friends sometime when we are going out just to a restaurant or something, we all wear suits and we go out, and we call it Suit Up Saturday. So we all feel nice. We are all out in suits. And people, and we should do this in college. And then people used to ask, "Oh, are you all finance? Working in finance? Are you guys bankers? Why are you dressed so formally? Are you all good lawyers?" So I know exactly how that feels. I also love suits that way, and I know what he's saying. But the hindsight of that, Aryan, is don't make yourself this thing so relied on that suit, that if that is not there, it drops your confidence. Don't let it get to that stage, right? I don't know, are you an Iron Man fan? Are you a Marvel fan?
Haven't watched a single movie.
Okay, so there's a saying in that, if you know, Iron Man says to Spider-Man at some point in the story, where he says that, I'm nothing without my suit, without the super Spider-Man suit, because he's got all the gadgets and stuff. And he says, I can't fight the bad guys without the suit. Then Iron Man tells him, if you're nothing without the suit, you should not have it then. You're not worthy of it. Right? And so true that if that is it, if your confidence is only coming from your suit, I think it's good to have it as a boost when you need it, but it is very important to be in control of it when you don't have it.
एंड आई थिंक जब तुम्हारा वैसे भी हाथ लोगों को नजर आता होगा आर्यन कि यू कैन नॉट बी wearing the appropriate clothes, so इतना don't get stuck up, and the way you talk, I think even previous class में तुमको बोला है, you speak well, confidence दिखाओगे तो किसी को फर्क भी नहीं पड़ेगा, उल्टा दिल से oh so sorry to see your hand, that you're injured, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, next, let's go to the next slide.
All right. Okay. Now, something that we make a mistake, everybody makes a mistake on this part, that is information overload. Now, you put too much of information on a slide. अभी आप अगर एक slide पे 15-20 points डाल दो, 30 points डाल दो, you don't arrange it correctly, the idea of having a slide is lost. So, of course, it's important to keep your message simple. Concentrate on the points or the most important aspects that you want to convey. आप आपके audience को क्या समझाना चाहते हो, क्या message पहुंचाना चाहते हो. That should, of course, always be the center or the main point in your slide design. आपके slide के design में वो सबसे important और सबसे obvious चीज होनी चाहिए. That is something that is an error we all do, and even professionals all the time. I have seen this, that this is something that happens, and it is said that a presentation or a PPT itself should actually be useless without the presenter itself. So if you just I'm just going back, if you just see these points, ये पॉइंट्स तो यार गूगल से कोई भी उठा सकता है, राइट? आप गूगल करोगे, इससे और अच्छे पॉइंट्स मिलेंगे आपको जो मैंने डाले हैं. बट आई थिंक व्हाट मैटर्स इज के वो एक पॉइंट के बारे में आप बात करते हो. सो इफ आई जस्ट गो टू दिस स्लाइड एंड से speak the language of the audience, engage the audience, show your passion, connect with your audience, there is no point of me being a presenter. और आप उल्टा ऐसे भी कभी कभी लोग सोचते कि हाँ चलो हम इतना कम नहीं डालते हैं फिर, so that the presentation should have more meaning. बड़े बड़े पैराग्राफ्स डालेंगे. या तो 3-4 लाइन फॉर ईच पॉइंट ऐसे डालेंगे. Again, then you as a presenter have lost your this thing, your attention. People are then reading the slide. आपको कोई नहीं देख रहा, आप क्या बोल रहे हो एक्चुअली वो भी नहीं सुनेंगे, वो सिर्फ स्लाइड पढ़ेंगे. और आपको ये नहीं चाहिए. आप you are the presentation. The PPT is not the presentation. That is what you should think. कि मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो ज्यादा important है than what is on the slide. So there is a rule that now these are certain rules that many professional and actual professional presenters have made. Not necessary it all applies to us, but situation to situation we have to take the call कि वो हम कर सकते हैं and how close we can get to these rules. So the 10-20-30 rule ये है कि your slideshow should not have too many slides also. 10 slides is what you should have. Not more than 20 minutes. I know that 20 minutes thing is not for the entire presentation, but the idea is कि आप जो actually present कर रहे हो ना, of course you will talk a lot more, but the content on your slideshow, अगर कोई flip through करना चाहता है just to see the content, it should not be more than 20 minutes. इसका मतलब नहीं आपका presentation 20 minutes में खत्म होना चाहिए. Right? So that's the 10, 20 and 30 is the font size. So don't use more than 30. In fact, 30 is actually a very large font. But of course, font size should be depending on how much of information is on your slide. And more importantly, throughout your slideshow, your font should be universal, whether it is font style, whether it is font size and color and all of that. You make it too colorful and we used to have this professor in college जो हमको बोलता था, don't make a presentation a clown. तो इतना colorful मत बना दो कि यार मतलब clown दिखने लगे. Yes, be innovative, make it interesting, but don't make it too colorful. Don't go overboard with it. तो ये भी बात important है. Next one we come to is the 6x6 rule. This is something I always try to impart or I try to put into my presentations. So in a slide, you should not have more than 6 main points and you should not have more than 6 words in every line. So I know you all will say, looking at my screen right now, you only have more than 6 lines here. I agree. But what I have done is then I have made sub points. Right. So my main points, which I actually just want to talk about, is 4. Right. So those are the 4 main points. The points below that are there just to support that. So if you think you have to have certain extra data, again, shorten it, use sub points.
Okay.
So that try to live by the 6x6 rule. You may not be able to do it exactly 6x6. But if that is in your mind, अगर आप वो mind में रखोगे कि मेरे को 6x6 rules के हिसाब से करना है, आप at least शायद 6x7, 8x8 max ऐसे कुछ पहुंच जाओ. Or rather 8x6. You don't want 8 points in a slide also. बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. Maybe words in the line आप थोड़ा बढ़ा दो. It's fine. You will get to that slowly. And how to get to that is what our next point talks about, where you ensure your bullets are to the point. And you don't use जैसे आपकी sentences बहुत बड़ी नहीं होनी चाहिए. Like अभी running a business, this is some examples that I've put down here. जैसे running a business smoothly. So अगर मैं कुछ present कर रहा हूँ about my company, I would say, okay, we are running a business smoothly. We are monitoring a website traffic. Design is effective and marketing strategies are effective. That's all that I am trying to convey here. So of course I could have gone ahead and said our design is very effective and our marketing strategies are equally effective. ऐसे करके मैं लिख सकता था. But I think the similar idea or the thought is conveyed by just this line, right? And like I said, ये जो अगर आप to the point वाले bullets बनाएंगे, so again, just going back and seeing, that's what, if you see, I have done. I've used very few words, but वो words, हाँ, अगर आप देखोगे while I'm talking to you and उसको you're listening to what I'm saying, आपको clearly समझ आएगा कि what I'm trying to make through this. It's very possible कि हाँ, अगर आप उसको standalone देखो without my voice or without any explanation, हाँ, आपको शायद समझ ना आए. But that that is the reason I again go back to saying you are the presentation, not your PPT. So you are the one who should have the most importance on that stage, should have all the attention on that stage. So ensure you do not overload the information, बहुत ज़्यादा data, especially when we are working with graphs and charts. वहाँ पे भी एक mistake होती है जहाँ पे हम बहुत सारे graphs डाल देते हैं, you know, and of course it takes time to go through something like a graph. You're looking at the axes, you're looking at you know, where your bars are, how big your pie chart pieces are. So that is something that takes time. So if you can try and concise it into something less, try to spread it out on maybe multiple slides while ensuring your PPT does not become too long. लोग को बोर भी नहीं होना चाहिए, but हाँ, आपको अपना जो डेटा है वो करेक्टली एंड इफेक्टिव वे में दिखाना भी चाहिए, ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट है. सो स्पेशली स्टैटिस्टिक्स जब आता है उसमें थोड़ा और हमको केयरफुल रहना चाहिए कि हम इसे कितना ज्यादा, कितना इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करते हैं. Okay. Again, quick pause. Any questions? Should I go back to anything? Should I look at any points?
Yeah, some people on YouTube saying they're finding it very helpful. They're sitting and watching and making notes. Most of them have this thing that they prefer watching than coming here on Zoom because they're not used to any YouTuber doing this who calls them on sessions and tells them to ask questions. So yeah.
Right. Okay. Understood. Cool. I'll go ahead. And now this is where I come to the actual skill that you should concentrate on. आपको क्या चीजें करनी चाहिए, क्या चीजें नहीं करनी चाहिए while actually presenting. When you're up on stage, आप लोगों के सामने बात कर रहे हो, तो आपको क्या चीजें follow करनी चाहिए. And this is where it is a little more technical, a little more, you know, do's and don'ts kind of side ये आ जाता है. ऐसा मैंने इसको last के लिए रखा था, but it is very important. And yes, some of them might be very common and, you know, you'll say common sense है यार, confident तो होना ही है, but doing these aspects, doing these things are not so easy when you're in front of a stage. जब crowd के सामने खड़े रहते हो, you will not realize how your body language changes. आप अपने आप बात करते वक्त, फ्रेंड्स के बात करते वक्त आप हैंडल कर सकते हो, but over there you will not know. For example, one thing very common is, yes, maintaining eye contact, smiling, very important. Your first connection with your audience, if you do not maintain eye contact and smile, you have lost them right in the starting. Now you will say, our audience is like 10, 20, 50, many times 100 or maybe more people. How do you do that? You don't have to maintain eye contact with each and every one. So what you do is you look at different sections of your room. So you look at the left end of the room, you look at the center of the room, you look at the right side of the room, and you keep doing this, of course, not continuously, but in breaks, thode time mein, keep shifting your eye contact from one section of the room to the other. तो जैसे आपका वो eye contact एक section से दूसरे section पे जाएगा ना, not necessarily looking at just one person. The people in that section will automatically understand, okay, chalo ye idhar dekh raha hai, I will give my attention back. It just automatically happens. It's just a human response, and it will happen to your audience. Agar you just ensure you keep yourself moving throughout the room. Especially when you're presenting in person, don't keep looking at your screen. Now, for example, if this is where my audience is, and if I have this laptop in front of me, my eye level should have been at the audience. Yes, I can keep glancing at my screen to change the slide. मेरे को एक point quickly read करना है, एक देख सकता हूँ very quickly. But if I am looking down, if my audience is out there, again, you're going to lose your audience. So don't look at the screen, don't look at the floor. अगर आपने कुछ chits या कुछ cue cards वगैरह, index cards बनाई हैं, don't look at that continuously. Yes, look at it, keep it down, keep it in your hand as a backup, and ensure you're always looking at your audience. Also, yeah,
Sorry, I feel that online PPTs are so much easier than in real life.
yeah,
Because I have done so many presentations, I can just put it as notes, keep different screens on.
correct,
But
correct.
real life में जो presentation देते हैं, उसका
That
अलग ही
different challenge, absolute different challenge. Barabar.
a much easier challenge. Oh, Aryan feels the opposite. What do you feel opposite?
It's like for me, I feel that, like IRL, it's much easier to give the presentation because you are able to, present your aura over there. Like when you walk into the room, you bring this certain confidence with yourself. And people can very easily understand that. And क्या बोलते हैं, emotions को display करना बहुत easy होता है, when you're off there offline. Whereas when you're virtual, you need to, work a lot harder in order to make an impact.
No, I disagree. I think aura वैसे भी इधर से भी आ सकता है. No doubt, in person it makes a difference. But अगर से तुमको मेरा जैसा काम करना है ना, जिसके बारे में इतना कुछ, एक जैसे मेरे ओवर थिंकिंग सेशन थी, हार्ट ब्रेक सेशन था, मेरा सेल्फ वर्थ, इतना इंफॉर्मेशन साइको, कैसे खुद थोड़ा बहुत तुमको इतने छोटे कार्ड में नहीं आ सकता. So you have to have the proper notes, and that's what this, when it's a virtual world, I would rather do it like this than in person. It is so difficult to memorize so many things. Maybe it's my age thing and you people are younger than me, that's why.
Even offline, I mean, like, वो cards वगैरह होंगी, like, you put up a projector or something, पीछे दिखा रहे हो,
Yeah.
and then you explain, like, वैसा mixed, that thing. And
Yeah, yeah.
That is the best way, according to me.
I think I'm with Aryan on this one. Even I like it in person. The entire being in the mix of it with that projector behind you and the laptop in front of you, and that's where I think that's where these aspects come into use a lot. Your eye contact. यहाँ पे literally you never lose eye contact with your crowd because your camera is just above your screen, and you're reading it, and you're not really doing that eye contact a bit. So yeah, me, I like it like a challenge. Yes, it's much more challenging. It's a different thing. But of course, yeah, if you have to reach an audience like what Rachna does with her this thing, of course, you can't have that so much in person. Something like a virtual world works much better for you. And yeah, like you said, for something that is a lot more theoretical, वहाँ पे आपको ज़्यादा easier होगा to have your cue cards right in front of you, right into the presentation. Yes, so I guess place to place, and I think topic to topic, crowd, audience to audience, those things definitely will change. Cool. So let me get back to the slide. Okay. Use of gestures and facial expressions. Again, very important. In fact, even more important in a virtual world. You like what Aryan was saying, your aura, your vibe. It's not impossible to transmit through the laptop or phones or your camera. It is very possible. And one thing that's going to help you with this is your expressions. It's going to help you is your gestures. Now, of course, I have a habit of using my hands, and of course, that has developed over a long period of time. And initially, what you will find is, and it is very normal to have that, is sometimes in the middle of a presentation, you'll suddenly think, oh no, where are my hands? What am I supposed to do with them? Should I put it up? Should I hold it here? Should I keep it down? What should I do with it? So that part always comes, and using gestures, using your hands takes that thought out of your mind that, okay, now what should I do next with my hand? Should I keep it down? Should I keep it moving? Could I keep it on my side? These are questions that come in your mind when you present. So gestures not only helps you convey what you're saying, but keeps your hand occupied, doesn't make you feel awkward at any time. Again, also keeps your audience engaged by doing that. There are a couple of different ways to keep your hands, of course. If you have something like a laser pointer or a stick, your hand is again going to be, now again, this is in a real world situation. We are actually presenting with the projector and all. So you may have a laser pointer or something and you're pointing to it. So you have something in your hand that keeps you engaged. Sometimes we also use something called a slide changer. So एक remote होता है. So instead of coming and pressing button on my laptop, I just have a remote in my hand, which I keep changing the slide with remotely. Maybe this is another tool that is useful. Something actually, I mean, if you do not want to invest in something like that, just get a wireless mouse. If you can see, that also does the same thing. It will help you take your slide forward and backward just by that. Of course, slide changes will cost you extra money and all of that. But again,
I just like to add something. Even with your smartphones, like I use.
Oh yeah,
this
nowadays you have the
a
remote.
lot,
Yes,
yeah.
good point. Good point. I forgot about
Because
that.
I always control my laptop remotely. Like, and the best part is you can control them from anywhere in the world. Like I could be in a different city and I could control my laptop. That's the best part.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, good point. I forgot about that thing. Nowadays, you get these apps that act as a remote for your slideshow. So it's literally you just have your phone, and with your volume button on the side, your slides are changing up and down. So great idea. Good tool also to have. Free apps you can use. So yes, so those are your gestures. So a couple of things that people use. So either keep your hands crossed, but you keep it close to yourself at around your stomach level, and you don't keep playing with your fingers or keep moving your fingers or something like that when you're presenting. This is going to take the attention away from your face, from your gestures, from your expression, from your aura, from your vibe. You do not want your audience looking at hand and getting distracted with that. So your hands, there are various things people say, keep it like this. This is what you call a steeple position. People keep it as a cross, people keep it like this. I say, keep it how you are comfortable. It's not this steeple position that is called is a very uncomfortable position, and not everyone can actually do it. So use a position, hold a position that is easy, that is not going to make you move a lot, and allows you to use your hands when required. And yeah, so ensure your gestures are correct, ensure your position, your posture is correct, and I think your vibe, your aura will transmit through any kind of universe you're looking for. And of course, like I said, basic stuff like be confident. Anybody can say that, but yeah, how do you gain that confidence is through experience and through practice. If I do not look at my presentation, if I do not go through my presentation well enough times, I'm not going to be able to present properly. I'm not going to be confident. That is what will happen. And of course, beginning, end, two very important parts where you connect best with your audience. Or in the beginning is when you connect, and that is where, like I've said before in this while in this workshop, that you actually make or break your presentation in the beginning. If you've got the audience attention towards you, you have a much better chance of having a more successful, more useful presentation. The end, again, that is where you probably put the more important, more juicier, meatier parts of your presentation, where जहाँ पे ज़्यादा information or the most important information जो हो वो आप अगर end पे डालो, so you will ensure that the end, because बीच में कहीं ना कहीं it is human and people are going to drift off, people's attentions are going to go, but at least by the end of it, you were able to bring their attention back. You used the correct information. You made sure your end was good enough, and that is what matters the most. Something to avoid, and very difficult to do it. You will tell me that you're telling us to avoid this, but you yourself have done this so many times. So what I say is that you should avoid fillers. So these are what we call fillers, using terms like kind of, okay, so, sort of, and so on. I mean, there are many words, right? We say that, and I'm sure I have used it throughout today's presentation also. The most important part is that we try to avoid these things. It is not going to be 100% avoidable, but as you are presenting, as you keep presenting on and on, and if you have this in mind, that I should not use fillers, your mind will automatically tune into that and start avoiding it. Now, the reason we use fillers is they say that your mind works much faster than your mouth. So when your presentation is on, you have already thought कि मुझे आगे क्या बोलना है. मैंने शायद एक दो पॉइंट एक दो स्लाइड भी आगे सोच के रखी है, तो मैं इतनी फास्ट सोच रहा हूँ, बट माय माउथ इज नॉट एबल टू डिलीवर at the same speed. So that is where your mind starts using fillers, and these are some samples of fillers. You would get the idea of what these are, and of course how they come into play when you're next time presenting. My suggestion is keep lookout for these fillers, and at the end of it think, oh yeah, I did use it. How many times did I use it? If you record yourself, or if you have a voice, even if no one is video recording, I mean, if you have a video recording, someone's doing that, best thing, you understand so many mistakes and how to correct yourself. But if you use so even like a normal voice recorder, you can get a lot of changes done, how your delivery is going to be. Use effective pauses. It is basically, of course, don't go too fast. Make sure you stop, take people's feedback, let people interact. Now, again, this is something that you may not be able to do in all situations. Now, for example, if we were presenting to say 500 people, 200 people, had I given a pause to hear everyone's input or everyone's question, we would have not reached here where we are running towards the end of our slideshow. So use effective pauses means use it at the correct time, in the correct situation. You may not always be able to use it, but give a chance for your audience to interact with you, to let them have a thought, even if it is a second after you finish this slide. Let them have a thought. Oh, okay, then they'll realize I have a question, or I have something, maybe or maybe a realization of something you have told them. So the pauses are useful. Of course, and we have spoken about this right from the start. Stage fright. जब भी हम स्टेज पे जाते हैं, हमको कहीं ना कहीं नर्वसनेस होनी है. हम लोग को डर लगेगा. लाइक आई सेड इन द स्टार्टिंग, मुझे खुद को यहाँ पे बिफोर आई स्टार्टेड मैं भी थोड़ा नर्वस था, saying that this is not necessarily a new topic for me, but something out of my comfort zone. तो मैं थोड़ा ये था, नर्वस था कि will I be able to deliver properly, क्या मेरे slides enough होंगे, will I run out of time or will I run out of slides. ये सारे thoughts आते ही हैं. So that fright is always going to be there. Don't go against it. Don't try to think too much about it, because if you do that, it's going to build up more. And if it builds up more, you are going to get more into it. आपको और डर लगेगा. Take a deep breath. If you think आप ऐसे point पे हो जहाँ पे आपको ऐसे लग रहा है कि you are not able to talk, it's okay to take a pause. You can maybe pick up notes, take a look at notes or something like that. Calm yourself down. Take a very quick pause. Of course, that it does not become obvious, but at least it helps you go ahead. आपका presentation रुकना नहीं चाहिए for the reason के आप nervous हो गए, that you could not take that forward. So to control that, of course, again, like our last point says, practice, 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 and practice will help you get over that also. आप जितना presentations दोगे और आपके presentation की खुद presentation जो आप करने वाले हो, उसको कितनी बार देखते हो, उसको कितनी बार आप वो points पढ़ते हो और क्या-क्या thoughts लाते हो, शायद कुछ notes बनाते हो, but that is going to ensure कि आपका, if you practice, if you're prepared, trust me, your fear, your nervousness will be low and your confidence will definitely be up. So ensure you are prepared, you practice. And the last thing which I like doing during my presentation also, tell stories. Connect with your audience. आपके audience को ऐसे connect करो कि आप एक person हो, वो person है. Person to person, you need to connect. So if you noticed, मैंने starting में क्या किया, मैंने कुछ stories बताई कि मैंने what was my experience, मैंने कैसे कुछ चीजें face की है. And that probably आप मेरे shoes में आ गए, आपको ये समझा कि ठीक है, actually presentation में ऐसा होता है. Maybe some of you will actually be able to think कि हाँ यार, if I am put in that kind of a situation, how will I react? How will I work it? So it helps you connect with your audience. It keeps the presentation interesting. कुछ शायद funny stories बोल दो, कुछ हंसी मजाक हो जाएगी, थोड़ा सा diversion from the boring topics or the boring slides that we have to present at some point or the other. तो वो तो होने ही वाली है. So try to go off topic a bit, come back in, of course, don't divert yourself too much. So that is also very important, that you engage your audience with some personal stories, some jokes. Keep it light, keep it calm, and again, ensure to practice for your presentation.
Which I think most people don't.
Yeah, that does happen. A little bit overconfidence, little bit under preparation, and yeah, you can totally lose it.
एक सेकंड कशिश, I read your message on YouTube. ये presentation skills पे चल रहा है. आप I will do a question answer session. किसी और ने भी पूछा है कि can I do it? I will. Give me some time. बाबा रोज कुछ ना कुछ करती हो तुम लोग के लिए. आज यहाँ पे focus करो. So Romel, anything else besides this?
So that's all I have to say. But I think we have a few minutes. So
yeah, you can stop sharing and then we can. So I was just thinking while I was listening to this, maybe I can make a video and post it along with this. क्योंकि there are some tips कि relaxation exercise कैसे करते हैं, visualization कैसे करते हैं, क्या आप लोगों को पता है? Deep breathing, chewing gum also helps reduce your anxiety, but of course you need to spit the chewing gum before you go. So these kind of things आप hypnotherapist try कर सकते हो. And मैंने आप लोगों को all the overthinking session में काफी tips दिए हैं. I think I'll make another one to add with this so that next time you'll watch this, you can watch that also and together, because सबसे ज्यादा stress जो होता है कि thought process क्या होना चाहिए और क्या सोचना चाहिए, क्योंकि कुछ लोग बहुत ज्यादा डर जाते हैं और क्या उसको कैसे वो nervous energy को कैसे कम करते हैं. तो I'll make a presentation on that. But if anybody has any other questions, please आज मुझसे तुम लोग ये question मत पूछो कि breakup में क्या करना है, उसमें क्या करना है. आपको मैं next time ये सब बता दूंगी. But for today, let's keep it for this only. So most of the people on YouTube, Romel has said that it's very helpful and they're going to look at the tips and learn from this.
I'm glad it can help someone, anyone.
Aryan, you wanted to ask something.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to bring up another point, like another mistake that people usually make, they try to use fancy or big words. Like, just to look smart, to look good. But उसमें होता क्या, एक तो कभी-कभी वो लोग खुद ही struggle करते हैं due to using those words. But ऐसा भी होता है that they lose their audience sometimes. Right. In a way to get their attention, they actually lose their attention. क्योंकि अगर हम simple language use कर रहे हैं, normal language use कर रहे हैं, it's better for people to understand. It's easier for them to understand, and when they understand, they feel connected. They feel like one. And that's like that's a very common mistake that I found people making. They just try to use fancy words. वो खुद अच्छे से बेचारे pronounce नहीं कर पा रहे होते उस word को, but they use it just so that they look like educated or something, just they look professional, but it ends up happening the exact opposite.
Correct, absolutely correct.
True. Thank you so much, Roman. This was really informative. मुझे भी
My
नहीं
pleasure.
पता था कि वो rule है कि इतने slides का, क्योंकि अगर से तुम मेरा slides देखोगे तो वो 2 घंटे चलता है मेरा presentation. तो मेरे लिए apply नहीं करता ये, क्योंकि तुम लोग ऐसे deep questions पूछते हो. Like the one I did for heartbreak, it's almost 2 hours long, my presentation.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it had to go from the किसने पूछा ये heartbreak वाला वीडियो है. कुणाल के साथ मैंने 4 घंटे का सेशन किया है, जिसमें first 2 hours is the presentation, what happens when we are in love, how to overcome the heartbreak, वो सारे tips and techniques including आपके साथ जो हो रहा है कशिश, पहले वो देखो. अगर से कुछ समझ में नहीं आए, अगर से कोई क्वेश्चन उसके बाद है, then come to me. बिना देखे तुम लोग ना सीधा पहले जाके देखो तो why you're experiencing what you're experiencing, how to overcome it. After you try all that, then come back to me. Anyway, Romel, thank you so much for doing this. It was like really fun.
Thank you. Yes, I hope so. I hope it was fun. I hope it was informative, and a lot of people benefit from this.
They will, because what I have seen generally, I was, as you know, I'm not a YouTuber per se, but I've seen something that I didn't know. This generation faces a hell of a lot of anxiety. They get very nervous coming and talking to people. They get I have like a specific server on Discord where we have a group for social anxiety, people who are shy and introverts.
Okay.
You'll be surprised how much this current generation is dealing with it. So this topic they will watch later. वो वाला पर they should have come, but generally ऐसा ही होता है. Like I've started a on the beam session जहाँ पे हम communication skills सिखाते हैं. कोई सब लोग होते हैं. Aryan is one of the children who at least switches on the camera. He will talk. The rest of them सब होते हैं चुप. This like the video cameras are off. They are on mute. And they have come to learn communication skills without wanting to communicate. Can you imagine? We even have, I'm teaching English every Monday. So children join and they don't want to learn. I'm like, how will you learn conversational English if you do not practice? Nahi,
Yeah.
humse nahi hoga. So I'm trying to get them out of their shell. I hope
Okay.
by in some time they will do that. So thanks so much for doing this. And hopefully, किसी को कोई questions है बाद में लिख देना. अगर से कुछ रह गया तो I will ask Romel and I'll post it in the chat.
Sure.
Okay, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
अच्छा एक सेकंड, किसने, कशिश तुमने एक क्वेश्चन पूछी है. मैं सिंस आई एम हियर कशिश, मेरा टॉपिक का प्रॉब्लम सारे लड़कों में होता है पर मेल ईगो चक्कर में बोलते. एक बार लिख दे. अरे यार एक मिनट. अच्छा रुको, आई एम पुटिंग इट इन द चैट. ये वाला देखो. डाल रही हूँ, रुको. आई होप ये कभी कभी ना इट डजंट अलाउ यू ऑल दैट. इतना कुछ है. फर्स्ट 2 आवर्स देख लेना, ठीक है. मुझे इतना लंबा अलाउ ही नहीं कर रहा मैसेज डालना. के लो कशिश, लीजिए आपके लिए डाल दिया है. ओके, ये भी नहीं अलाउ कर रहा है. क्या है, मुसीबत है यार. It's there's a particular amount of the words also it doesn't allow. So क्या एक और GF X और GF चीट में पार्टनर किसी के साथ फिजिकल जरूरी थॉट कैसे हटाएं. हाँ तो तुम लोग को ऐसा लगता है करके तुम्हारे पहले तो किसी की लाइफ हो ही नहीं सकती. तुम लोग ही हो महान एकदम. लड़कियां रिलेशन रखे या कोई लड़का भी रखे, अगर से कोई रिलेशनशिप में होता है तो वो पास्ट बैगेज को आपको सामने नहीं कैरी करना है. यू हैव टू मूव ऑन फ्रॉम इट. और आपके एक्स क्या कर रहे हैं क्या फर्क पड़ता है. आई एम गेसिंग कि आपकी करंट गर्लफ्रेंड को का कोई एक्स था, राइट. ये करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो ना. वो क्योंकि मेन में ईगो होता है कि वो ये मेरी है, ये मेरा सामान है. जैसे हम कोई प्रॉपर्टी को, जैसे ये माउस खरीद के आते हैं, ये माउस है या ये ग्लास है, जब हम खरीदते ब्रांड नहीं होता है ना, सेकेंड हैंड नहीं होता. पर हम अनफॉर्चुनेटली इंसान को भी ऐसे ही ट्रीट करते हैं जैसे कि वो कोई सेकेंड हैंड चीज तुम्हारे पास है. नहीं, वो आपके पास नए आए हैं क्योंकि वो न्यू इमोशंस होंगे, नया कनेक्शन होगा उस इंसान के साथ. आपका जो कनेक्शन उनके साथ है वो पहले नहीं था. वो गाय भैंस बकरी नहीं है कि तुमको उस पर जेलस फील करना है या तुमको ऐसा फील करना है करके है कि किसी और. द पास्ट इज देयर पास्ट. They are a human being and they have to have their own set of experiences, whether it is a boyfriend, whether it is a friend, whether it is studies. हर लाइफ के हर एस्पेक्ट में उनके फैमिली मेंबर्स, उनका काम, उनका जो भी है, हर इंसान को कुछ ना कुछ अपने लाइफ में एक्सपीरियंस करना पड़ता है. उसका मतलब नहीं कि वो एक्सपीरियंस के साथ अगर से आपके पास आएंगे तो आप उसको बोलो कि तुमने ऐसा क्यों किया. क्यों? तुम उनके लाइफ, एक तो दे डोंट ओ यू एनीथिंग. दिस इज द मिस्टेक मेनी ऑफ यू ऑल डू कि तुमको लगता है तुम कोई प्रॉपर्टी खरीद रहे हो. स्पेशली मेन को ये बहुत होता है. अभी एक बार उसका रिलेशनशिप खत्म हो गया, वो चैप्टर क्लोज करो. वो चैप्टर खत्म हो गया, उसको रिविजिट करने की जरूरत नहीं. चैप्टर भी नहीं बोल सकते उसको, एक बुक बोल सकते हैं. वो उसकी जिंदगी का एक चैप्टर है पर आपके लिए वो एक बुक था. वो फेंक के उठा के फेंक दो बिकॉज यू हैव नो राइट to tell what did she do, why did she do it. It's her life, it's her decision. You cannot abhi, of course, at the moment agar se koi aapke sath cheat kar raha hai kuch, then you have an option to obviously cut them off from your life, but otherwise you should know how to behave yourself. ठीक है. So I hope I have answered your question kashish. मैम पढ़ाई में मन कैसे लगाए. आई एम ट्राइंग माय बेस्ट बट बहुत बोरिंग लग रहा है. अपने आप को अनकंफर्टेबल कर रहा हूँ पढ़ाई करने के लिए, बट मनी अनकंफर्टेबल कर रहा है. यू मीन अपने आप को मोटिवेट कर रहा हूँ. दैट्स द राइट वर्ड यू आर लुकिंग फॉर. ओके देखो, आई हैव अ टेस्ट आफ्टर 3 days. तुम रहने दो, फिर तुम अपने आप को ऐसे रहने दो क्योंकि 3 दिन में अगर से आपको किसी एंगल से लग रहा है कि मैं यू नो एक साधु या संत आत्मा की तरह तुम्हें कुछ एकदम ब्राइट एंड कुछ एकदम अमेजिंग बोलने वाली हो, उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला। तुम जो सोते रहे हो, प्लीज कंटिन्यू स्लीपिंग फॉर 3 days। उसके बाद जब आपका रिजल्ट आएगा तो हाँ, यूट्यूब बाबा, अगर उसके बाद आपका जब रिजल्ट आएगा ना, ये जो आपको लेजीनेस छा रही है आप में, आपका लेजीनेस सारा गायब हो जाएगा। जब आपको रियलाइज होगा ना, यू आर, तुम पढ़ाई किसी और के लिए नहीं कर रहे, अपनी जिंदगी के लिए कर रहे हो। फकअप करना है करो, बी माई गेस्ट, बी आर्यंस गेस्ट, बी द होल यूट्यूब्स गेस्ट, हु केयर्स? None of us care what happens. If you don't care, why will anybody care about your future? हमको सबसे ज्यादा हम अपना प्रोटेक्शन देखते हैं, अपना लाइफ देखते हैं, हमारे में वो सेल्फिशनेस, सर्वाइवल इंस्टिंक्ट होती है। आपको क्या लगता है, आपको अगर से सच में आईक्यू नहीं है और आप पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहे, वो अलग बात है कि जेनेटिकली यू जस्ट नॉट कट आउट, कि कितना भी डालने से दिमाग में कुछ नहीं जा रहा। पर अगर से you have the IQ and you're just pure lazy, then it is very sad. Then you should not, मेरे हिसाब से ये और एक बार am I tagged or not? Wait.
Could I answer that question?
एक मिनट बेटा, एक मिनट. How did I unpin myself? Shouldn't I be pinned? Why is it not? Wait. Ask. Yes, talk. It's okay.
Okay, so yeah, what I was saying is I have faced a similar issue that even if like कितना भी try करो, पढ़ाई करने का मन नहीं करता है. So that time what I felt was कि motivation नहीं था कोई, and the way kind of I came over it or the way I got out of it was so मैं अभी 12th के boards दे रहा हूँ, and even for board exams पढ़ाई करने का बिल्कुल मन नहीं कर रहा था. There were hardly days left for the exam, yet I wasn't studying. But I was just looking through colleges, and so I basically now going to get myself into MIT WPU. मैंने देखा वहाँ पे क्या क्या activities है, and you know I want to get there because they have a racing team and I want to join that team, so I want to join that college. And the day I decided कि yes, I'm going to go in this college, I had that motivation. I am a very hardcore gamer. I had 300 GBs worth of games. मैंने सब delete किए, and I started religiously studying. And my boards are going very well.
So वही consistencies की तुमको क्या लगता है करके, और अगर से you have not contacted me, Arsh, contact me. I can give you some resources, I can give you some hypnotherapy. But if you are going to have this mindset कि मुझे बोर हो रहा है, मुझे मजा नहीं आ रहा है, हेलो, तुम एसएल वर्ल्ड या डिज्नीलैंड नहीं गए हो, ठीक है? पढ़ाई हमेशा, it's not going to be like super exciting and super amazing. It's not like a thrill that gives you, but you get a chance to study, you get a chance to improve your life, and this is how you do it. Unless तुम इतने 30 मार्क का हो और स्टार्टअप ज्वाइन करोगे और सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा और आपको कोई लाइफ में, वो अलग बात है। पर अगर से पढ़ाई आपको करनी है, what has happened to Aryan's hand? हाँ, by the way, Aryan, हुआ क्या था? तुमने बोला I wished you well, but I didn't ask you what happened.
Actually, it was kind of my own mistake. So, kal I was going to meet a friend, and unfortunately there were like 2 roads and one was full of trucks, and I took the second one जहाँ पे कुछ नहीं था. And actually the reason वो road unused था is there was a very huge pit and गाड़ी उसमें से गई. It kind of jumped off. गाड़ी की seat टूट गई. I was flung off the vehicle. My whole of my left side is kind of unusable right now. I can't even sit on the chair because I have, like, you know, multiple cuts and bruises all over my body.
So you fell into that pit.
मैं गाड़ी से उछाल दिया गया. Like the vehicle jumped over it and I was thrown off the vehicle.
Oh shit.
Like literally the seat is broken.
You were sitting on a vehicle.
Activa.
Oh, खुद चला रहे थे.
हाँ, मैं Activa चला रहा था and गाड़ी खड्डे में से गई, तो I was just thrown off it.
Oh,
I was like, I remember I have that image in my mind of seeing like the seat breaking off, and I was in the air while I saw the seat flying off.
Okay.
But I don't know, it was good because I still drove home about 6 kilometers.
Wow. Anyway,
with a fractured hand.
I wish you well and I hope you heal soon. I need you back. Okay. Besides. अच्छा. Anyway, किसी ने मुझे बहुत interesting question पूछा है कि ma'am, what does make you keep going even if you get less views? Because जब तुम्हारा purpose bigger होता है और तुम्हारा focus एक इंसान पे होता है. आज मैं बहुत डिसअपॉइंटेड हूँ. मैंने लिखा था कि मैंने तुम लोग काफी लोगों से पूछा था लास्ट ऑन द बीम 2 हफ्ते पहले कि शुड आई गेट समवन टू टीच presentation skills. That's why I got someone. And guess what? You all are so bloody busy in your life कि तुम लोग, sorry to say, but kachra content dekh sakte ho. Somebody who's trying to make efforts and help you, you people cannot make time. I mean, मैं तो सोच रही हूँ, I'm almost this close to shutting down on the beam session. Because जब भी कोई on the beam आता है, तुम लोग तो question answer ठीक है, I will do that because I know that a lot of people have questions. But on the beam session was for you all to learn to communicate, to learn these kind of skills. But why should I? It's like किसने बोला ना, views का छोड़ो, वो YouTube पे बाद में देख लेंगे. पर मुझे बताओ कौन सा यूट्यूबर आपको फ्री में कम्युनिकेशन, प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स, इंटरव्यू स्किल्स साथ में कौन बैठ के सिखाता है? किसके पास इतना टाइम है लाइफ में, स्पेशली फ्री ऑफ चार्ज करने के लिए? फिर भी मैं कर रही हूँ, मैं फिर भी डिसवेड नहीं होती, डिसहार्टेड नहीं होती, मुझे चलो कोई बात नहीं, और एक बार what the hell are you people doing यार? ठीक है, नहीं करूंगी. जब मुझे लगेगा करके तुम लोग honestly dedicated हो to learn, to understand that somebody spends, I've spent my all evening on this bloody chair. 7:30 मेरे अभी 10 बज रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ठीक है, क्योंकि वो पहले इंग्लिश सेशन था, मुझे यूट्यूब पे लाइव जाना पड़ता है क्योंकि मैं देखती हूँ करके, ठीक है, कोई लोग इधर नहीं ज्वाइन करते, बाद में सीखते होंगे. मैं उस एक इंसान के लिए जरूर करती हूँ और मैं करती रहूंगी मेहनत. बट I don't like this यार. Why did you all say yes if you are not going to join? What's the point of looking at me and YouTube? मुझे YouTube hours नहीं चाहिए, मुझे Zoom sessions पे तुम लोग को एक्चुअली मदद करना. मैं क्या करूंगी उस चीजों का अगर से तुम लोगों को समझ में नहीं आ रहा? These things are good for your career, good for your life. What we are trying to teach you, जो स्कूल और कॉलेजेस में नहीं सिखाते, मैं कोशिश कर रही हूँ आप लोगों को सिखाने की. पर आप लोगों को पढ़ा है वो सब कंटेंट देखते रहना, इसका ब्रेकअप किसके साथ हुआ, उसकी कंट्रोवर्सी किसके साथ हुई, मतलब तो उससे बेहतर टीवी लगा के वो एकता कपूर की सीरियल्स देखो ना. क्यों इधर क्या टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हो? ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, आगे. हाँ मैम, सॉरी, इट्स ओके गौरव, इट्स नॉट विद पीपल हु हैव एग्जाम्स, आई डोंट हैव एनीथिंग अगेंस्ट दैट, बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग इस टॉपिक पे मैंने 1 मिनट बोल दीजिए कि जब पता है कोई हमारे लिए सही नहीं है और फिर भी मूव ऑन करने में प्रॉब्लम हो, किस कैसे ठीक करे. एंड पास में अरे मेरे तेरे चरण का है, मैं इसको छू लूं? पहले तो मैं तुम्हें सेशन दे चुकी हूँ, पहले उसको देखो तो ना. सारा एक्सप्लेन किया है कि अगर से हम अटक जाते हैं क्यों अटकते हैं, अगर से हमको हम अटके हुए हैं क्यों अटकते हैं, उससे कैसे निकलते हैं, मेमोरीज क्यों होती है, सब एक्सप्लेन किया है. कशिश प्लीज, अब मैं 1 मिनट में आपको ये पूरा चीज नहीं सिखा सकती. वो 2 घंटे की सेशन है आपकी लाइफ के, नॉट ओनली दिस रिलेशनशिप बट आगे भी जाके इट इज गोइंग टू कम हैंडी फॉर यू. 2 मिनट में आपका कुछ नहीं होगा, सब लोग आपको ज्ञान पेलेंगे, पर आपको एक एक्शन प्लान दिया जा रहा है हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ इट. आपको देखना ही नहीं है, तुम लोग को सब चीज क्विक, आजकल का फास्ट जनरेशन हो गया, हर चीज तुम लोगों को जल्दी सीखनी है. जाके देख लो आप लोगों को, अरे वो भी सिखाया है मेरे बाप, अटैचमेंट कैसे आती है, जाके देख तो लेना. मैं अभी उस पर बात नहीं करूंगी, पहले तुम देखो, जब आंसर नहीं मिले तब वापस आना. उसमें इतना कुछ एक्सप्लेन किया है, इवन थिंग्स दैट यू हैव नॉट आस्क्ड मी, you will understand what I am trying to teach you. Once you understand what I'm trying to teach you and you understand where your emotions are coming from, what happens when we get involved with people, and this is the problem with you, you're not being able to let go, you're holding on to that experience, you're living in the past. उस पे भी overthinking and anxiety वाली सेशन है. पहले heartbreak सेशन देखो, few days के बाद overthinking, दोनों साथ में मत देखना क्योंकि कुछ भी भेजे में नहीं जाएगा. As I can see, absorb करने को टाइम लगता है लाइफ में, ठीक है. गुड, ओके, आपका जो इमोजी जो सारा टाइम थम्स अप देता रहता है मुझे, गुड. अच्छा, तो अभी हम चलें, आप लोग अबे आ रहे, अबे वेलकम, आप तो बहुत जल्दी आए भाई साहब. अच्छा, मैं चलूं अभी, तुम लोग के क्वेश्चंस हो गए, एक कशिश का ही क्वेश्चन था और किसी ने कोई क्वेश्चन पूछा था, पर वो इंसान होगा नहीं अभी देखते हुए. तो 13 लोग तो मुझे देख रहे हैं, 13 लोग अगर से मुझे देख रहे हैं, कोई कुछ पूछो नहीं तो मैं चली, ठीक है. मैं ऑलरेडी 7:30 से यहाँ बैठी हूँ, मतलब यहाँ नहीं बैठी हूँ, बट यू नो व्हाट आई मीन, द इंग्लिश क्लास वाज देयर. हाउ कैन आई इंप्रूव माय पब्लिक स्पीकिंग? आई हैव ग्रेट इंटरेस्ट इन, बट व्हाई डज यू, इवन इफ यू हैव ग्रेट इंटरेस्ट इन पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट join a public speaking class. Second of all, I don't understand why your family thinks it's bad, because even if you don't stand on a podium and speak, you do have to speak in meetings and every place. I mean, almost unless you take up a job which is in the back end, and then you don't have to talk. but if not, yes, you have to. How to approach a professional task professionally? I don't know what kind of a random question it is. So ask me proper questions. How do you approach a professional task? क्या होता है पापा? ये क्या है? Heartbreak से मैंने डाला था. Hi ma'am, do you remember me? पुरुषर्थ पॉलीवाल. No, I don't remember you. I'm so sorry. I passed my 11th exam, now doing extremely well. I'm glad that you're doing well, and I'm sorry I don't remember because इतने सारे clients आते हैं, सबका नाम memorize करना difficult होता है. अगर से तुम लोग मेरे stream पे बार-बार आते हो तो मुझे थोड़ा बहुत याद आता है. Otherwise, sorry, मुझे याद नहीं. But I'm very, very happy that you're doing well and continue doing well. Take care of yourself, guys, and I shall see you next Sunday. I'm planning a podcast. I'll let you know what the topic is. And hope to see you all. नहीं तो मेरा तो काम चलता रहेगा. तुम लोग जिस तरह जा रहे हो ना, एक दिन हमारा YouTube चैनल मुझे बंद करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? अगर से you really want me around, start making a difference. When I'm making a difference in your life, start. You know, I was just saying कि मैंने देखा ना presentation skills ना आयुर्वेदा वाला session. एक आध share था, otherwise तुम लोग तो share भी नहीं करते. पता नहीं ये generation को हो क्या गया है. हमेशा कचरा शेयर करने में 1 सेकंड नहीं लेते हो, बट जो चीजें आपकी और दूसरों की लाइफ को बेनिफिट होगा, यू नो. थैंक्स आर्यन जस्ट सेड कि डोंट लेट इट हैपन. सो यू नो, आप लोग ये भी नहीं करते, मतलब तुम लोग को किसी के लिए सोचते नहीं हो ना. लाइक मैं तो छोड़ती ही नहीं सोचना कि आज अच्छा इसको किस तरह मदद किया जाए, उसको कैसे मदद किया जाए, इस बच्चे को क्या इशू. तुम लोग अपने दोस्तों को भी मदद नहीं करना चाहते, अपने फैमिली मेंबर को भी नहीं करना चाहते. ये वर्ल्ड कैसा सेल्फिश वर्ल्ड बन गया है, मुझे तो समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है. आई डोंट नो. मैं इंडिया से दूर रहती हूँ, पर फिर भी मैं तुम लोग के लिए फील करती हूँ. तुम इंडिया में ही रहते हो और तुम खुद इंडियंस को हेल्प नहीं करना चाहते. इट मेक्स मी वंडर वेयर दिस वर्ल्ड इज हेडेड. बट एनीवे, आई होप. क्या कशिश, और एक बात था मैम, आपके वीडियो देख लूंगा जो आपने बोला, पर ये टॉपिक है कि अगर रिलेशनशिप में कोई चीज अधूरा रह गया, के स्पेशल कुछ प्लान कर रहे थे, तो पहले ब्रेकअप हो गया तो थॉट. ये तू 4-6 बार लिखेगा और मैं 4-6 बार वही आंसर दूंगी कि पहले सेशन देखो, देन ओवर थिंकिंग वाला सेशन देखो, देन सेल्फ वर्थ वाला सेशन देखो. बिकॉज आपकी सेल्फ वर्थ भी लो है, आप ओवर थिंकर भी हो, और आपको हार्ट ब्रेक इशू भी हुआ है. ये तीनों सेशंस मेरे साइको एजुकेशनल सेशंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है तुम सब बच्चों को सीखने के लिए, हाउ टू हैंडल प्रॉब्लम्स. एंड डोंट वरी अबाउट दिस डिस्कम्फर्ट. आई डोंट नो हाउ ओल्ड यू आर, but ma'am, can OCD be treated without medicines? I'm not an OCD specialist, so I'm sorry, I don't know. Depends. अगर से ज्यादा नहीं है तो I guess if you can control it, why not? Without. And कल का अगर से तुम लोगों ने पॉडकास्ट नहीं देखा तो उसमें हमने बताया था कि अश्वगंधा और वो सब इट्स लाइक अ ब्रेन टॉनिक. तो वो स्टार्ट करो, देखो इफ इट हेल्प्स. प्लीज जाके कल आयुर्वेदा वाला पॉडकास्ट वाज रियली गुड. It really helped to understand how our body reacts to all this and what to take, especially तुम सब बच्चों के लिए. मैंने वो जो जनरल क्वेश्चंस थे ना कि मेंटल हेल्थ के लिए कैसे हैंडल करना है, उस पर लिखा है, ठीक है. All relationships are tough there. I mean, not like there are going to be problems. Yeah. Okay, चलो बाबा बच्चा लोग, see you all soon. Take care, ma'am. There is this weekly डिबेट डिस्कशन जो हर ट्यूसडे नाइट होता है. इट विल बी टुमारो. लव फॉर किड्स टू कम. इवन इफ है व्हिच किड्स यू मीन, द यूट्यूब वाले किड्स
सब. या
so
so
how
it's
will,
like
where is the debate head?
virtual है, and so basically it's of this company called as Ideas Exchange. So what they do is every weekend, I mean every Tuesday, they take a particular topic which is kind of sensitive and which should be discussed. For example, we were topics like abortion, should it be done or should it not be done. Then we have recently had the one like there's this thing that old people can get themselves killed from the government. I don't remember the exact term. Yeah, there's something ki if someone
euthanasia.
Yeah, right.
Euthanasia.
So should it be allowed? Should it not?
I am like anti debates. Okay, that's why I'm not even allowed डिस्कॉर्ड पे डिबेट. आई एम फेड अप ऑफ कॉन्स्टेंट वर्चुअल ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन डिबेट्स. हर इंसान को अपना ज्ञान फैलना होता है, जिसको जो करना है करो. रही भाई तुम्हारी, तो तुम्हारा जो भी चैनल, मैं तो नहीं आ सकती, मैं ये सब चीजों में पढ़ती नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी आई एम मेंटली एंड इमोशनली ड्रेन्ड विद सो मेनी केसेस. कितने लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम्स है. यूथेनेसिया कुछ कंट्रीज में अलाउड है. जब तक हम कितना भी आर्ग्यू कर ले, ठीक है, फाइनली डिसीजन गवर्नमेंट के पास रहता है. तो
मैम,
अपने कंट्री में मोस्ट प्रोबेबली बहुत टाइम लगेगा. हर लॉ को, लाइक इवन अ सिंपल LGBTQ लॉ इज टेकिंग फॉर एवर, राइट? और फर्स्ट क्या क्वेश्चन था तुम्हारा? फर्स्ट टॉपिक क्या था कि एक तो कुछ तो भी तुमने बोला
then
कल.
बहुत अलग अलग, like actually that's the best part, पता है क्या, कि no matter how sensitive the topic is, like we've had, you know, topics related to religion, then gun violence in USA वगैरह, थोड़ा भी heat up नहीं होता. Like it's never, you know, everyone calmly listens to each other's points. And जो हम debates में generally होता है ना, that you know it just
डिबेट
gets
होता कहाँ है? किसके चैनल पे होता है, या
yeah.
डिस्कॉर्ड पे होता है, या तुम पोस्ट कहाँ करते हो इसको?
So this is basically through Zoom. We join Zoom calls, and so this company is Mexico based, and so we
Why
have
are
two
they
time
doing this?
just because
Just
just
because
for the
there's
reason
nothing
you
else
are doing it, just for the reason you're doing it.
to help people.
Yeah, to have good discussions, you know, to have an exchange of information.
Okay, okay. But it's not India related. It's the
No,
world
no, it
related.
is world related, like not just India. So, you know, we have people from Europe, we have people from USA. सब लोग मिलके डिस्कस करते हैं अपने अपने यहाँ पे कैसी सिचुएशन है, you know, and how is it around the world, how can it be improved. We have many different topics. Like मैं आपको 2-3 topics बताता हूँ from the group. So like basically time zones wise we have two. एक होता है Tuesday 5:30 a.m. which is of USA, like the USA time zone, and the other one is 11:30 p.m. So for us Indians it is a little tough, but current generation is mostly up that way, that time. So
कल आयुर्वेद वाला तुम लोगों ने अगर से पॉडकास्ट देखा है, टाइम पे सो टाइम पे उठो, ठीक है. अच्छा, आई गॉट टू गो नाउ. इट्स बीन लाइक 7:30 से मेरे कमर टूट गई है यहाँ पे बैठे बैठे. एंड आई शैल, एक मिनट गौरव, इट इज ओके. एंड नो, आई डिडंट ट्राई ऑयल पुलिंग. नो, मुझे तो वैसे ऑयल से कुछ फीलिंग होता है, तो आई डोंट नो. या सो I was not very happy. And वो भी coconut oil. No, thank you. I am good. Okay, take care, guys. And क्या नाम है तुम्हारा? कशिश. I know you are troubled. पहले ये देख लो, अगर से फिर भी troubled हो, मेरे से बात करना. Bye, बेटा. आर्यन, take care of yourself. You can, if you make an Insta post, just give it to me. I'll share it. If anybody wants to come, they can. Okay? I can't post it on my YouTube community or anything, or Discord. We don't allow promotions of any kind of anybody. So, but I can try once in a while your Insta post. ठीक है? मैं तो नहीं आऊंगी, तुम by the way mute पे हो. ठीक है? चलो, bye. Take